to the middle of the tram, not sitting next to one of the gates. We're going to be bouncing, we're going to be shaking. We want to make sure your children are safe. And there are some special effects on the tour that are presented in 3D. So if you got onto the tram and did not get a pair of 3D glasses, raise your hand and we'll bring you some before we leave. Does anybody need 3D glasses? Everybody's good? Okay. Don't wear the glasses yet. There are only 2 special effects on the tour that are presented in 3D. I promise I'll let you know when to wear them. Are you guys ready? Let's go. Oh, hi. Oh, let me introduce myself. Why wouldn't I do that? I am Paul. I will be your guide around our studio. Hello. Sitting next to me at the front of the tram is Laura, but I can't show you Laura on the monitors because the cameras don't move. She's gonna drive. Say hi to Laura. She waves at you guys. And there's somebody who wants to give our tour a quick introduction. The host of The Tonight Show, Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
His name's Paul.
And the greatest driver.
Her name's Laura.
They're the best. I love that. Even though
Tour guide Paul
owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
There are some safety rules for our trip around today. If at any time during the tour you need immediate assistance, like if you have a medical emergency, if you accidentally drop something important and it falls off the side of the tram, if you're experiencing either sound issues or video issues in the car that you're in, reach up and pull down on that red emergency cord that runs down the center of the tram ceiling. And if you pull on the cord, as soon as it's safe to do it, we'll stop. And I'll come back, I'll see what you need assistance with. Otherwise, throughout the entire tour, please remain seated and keep your arms and legs inside the tram. This studio is private property, so if you drop a phone off the tram, if you can't wait till the end of the tour to use the restroom, please don't jump off the tram. Pull that red cord. No smoking on the tram, and be aware the trip is going to include sudden tram movements and loud noises, fire effects, and water effects. So keep your phones ready, keep your cameras ready, take pictures, keep an eye on them so don't get wet. And finally we ask, because you're sitting very close to a lot of people, please don't use selfie sticks on the tram. No selfie sticks. Not everything we're going to drive by today is fake. Not everything is a movie set. That's a fire station. That's real. You can take a picture, but they have these in every city. People still take pictures of a fire truck if you go there. So what's going on the lot? What is filming right now? We're doing a television show that's the return of a show that was a big hit in the late 1980s, early 90s. We're filming new episodes of Quantum Leap today. They've been using all the sections of our backlot for that show. I believe they're shooting inside one of the sound stages today, but I'm going to be pointing out some of the sets that they've been using for the show. The premiere of Quantum Leap is going to be next Monday on NBC. We do some shows here for the Peacock Network, Bel Air, Rutherford Falls, The Voice films on the lot. They're currently working on their 22nd season. Kelly Clarkson, who's frequently one of the voice coaches on the show, also does her talk show here, The Kelly Clarkson Show, and she co-hosts American Song Contest with Snoop Dogg. Wave at this man. You see this guy? Every day, every tram that drives by, morning, afternoon, he stands there and he waves at everybody. A nice security guard. They just painted these stages on the left, so they haven't painted the numbers on the stages yet, except for 10. I think they're going to redo that. But stages 11 down through 7, they've been using for Bel Air, which is a reboot of The Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and that's made as a drama instead of a comedy. They just came back last week to start working on season 2, and you can catch the first season on the Peacock Network. That's a streaming network that's owned by NBC Universal. Bel Air also uses Soundstage 14 as we make the turn, this big stage off to the left. Hacks also filmed inside that stage. That's a show that's on HBO Max starring Gene Smart, and they just finished season 2. There's a lot of construction going on over here on the right side of the tram behind the green fence. This is all for Super Nintendo World, and we're very excited to announce Super Nintendo World is going to be opening early. in 2023 here at Universal Studios Hollywood. You're going to be able to find updates about Super Nintendo World on our website and our social media accounts. We don't have an official opening date for it yet because they say they're ahead of schedule. So they think they're going to be opening a little earlier than anticipated. It's not ready yet, but it's coming soon. Mindy Kaling used to do the Mindy Project on her lot a few years back, and then she co-created and produced Never Have I Ever for Netflix. Both the Mindy Project and Never Have I Ever used these next three stages, 16, 17, and 18. They just filmed the final episode of Never Have I Ever. The 4th season is the final season of the show. And there are statues in front of stage 18. If you're riding with children, I guarantee your children know who the statues are. They're very popular. They're called Minions, and they're starring in a movie right now, Minions: The Rise of Gru. What are you pointing at? What were you pointing at? Ted, the statue of Ted. That's another family film over on the it's not a family film. I was checking to see if you're listening. We're making a TV series, Ted. That's why that statue is there. The TV series is filming inside of our sound stages right now. It is executive produced by Seth MacFarlane, who co-wrote and directed Ted and Ted 2, and he's also going to be the voice. And the TV series is a prequel. Everything that takes place on the series takes place before the movies, and that's going to be on the Peacock Network. This office on the left side of the tram, behind the little white fence, that's Dwayne Johnson's office. He's got his own production company. It's called 7 Bucks. All of these bungalows that we're passing by, these are offices for producers and directors and writers. One of the most famous directors of all time, the master of suspense, Alfred Hitchcock, used to work out of bungalow 5195, and his profile is still painted next to the door. Hitchcock was known for cameos. Like every time he directed a movie, he would pop up in the movie somewhere, like what Stan Lee did in all the Marvel movies. But Hitchcock did it first. And this is what he looked like in some of the movies he made for us.
Good evening. My name is Alfred Hitchcock.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
The scene of blood.
We've been driving by sound stages and production offices. That's considered the front lot. Now we move into the back lot over here on the right. This is where we're going to take you for the rest of the tour. Right past all the sets that are too big to go inside the sound stages. So you're going to be able to get some really good pictures of where we do our productions. First set, I'm going to point out from a movie, right across the grass over here on the right. That building is where Jim Carrey and Jennifer Aniston's characters lived in our comedy Bruce Almighty.
Grace the dog!
I'm in the shower!
That's our back lot right there.
Outside good. Inside bad. Outside good.
Oh, you're done now. Great.
Beautiful. That's what I do for the rest of the tour. I go, look at this building. This is how we used it in this movie. This street they're on right now. This is the same street that Marty McFly drove a DeLorean down at a speed of 88 miles an hour right before lightning hit the clock tower at exactly Channel 4 Back to the Future. That City Hall building, that was the clock tower that got hit by lightning. This is such a famous part of the backlot. We're going to stop here for a moment so you can take some pictures. And we do this a few times on the tour. We'll stop in front of some of our sets. And while we stop, I'm going to show you what it looked like in some productions. This is how it looked in Back to the Future in 1985. 2 years before Back to the Future, Norman Bates was released from that courthouse in Psycho 2. 1962, Gregory Peck defended his client there in To Kill a Mockingbird. 2003, there's a riot in front of the courthouse in Bruce Almighty. And in 1989, they said the world would look like this by now, because in Back to the Future Part 2, they said in 2015 cars and skateboards would fly, but they're like 7 years behind schedule on that. We've also been using Courthouse Square for Rutherford Falls, one of our comedies on the Peacock Network. Bel Air has been filming out here, Ted, and Quantum Leap. So a lot of shows have been filming out here within the last few months. As we leave Courthouse Square, we turn on to New York Street. And to tell you a little bit more about this area, I'm going to bring back Jimmy Fallon.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there by an old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey! I'm walking here! I'm walking here! Hey, it's cool guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
Along with some of the television shows that I just mentioned that had filmed out here, like Quantum Leap and Bel Air, we had also recently used this Barbara Backlot for the latest season of American Ninja Warrior. They had the whole obstacle course built down the length of New York Street. Going up the hill to the next part of the studio, I'm going to bring up an Academy Award-winning director, the director of King Kong, Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old. I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up into the edge. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you on the ride. Now we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
Okay, everybody, hold on to your belongings. We don't want you to accidentally drop anything off the tram as we drive through the island. Remain seated at all times. And put on your 3D glasses. We're going to Skull Island. take off the 3D glasses that some of you have been wearing for the entire tour. Don't lose the glasses. Don't drop them off the tram. You're going to need them again a little bit later for another special effect. I'll let you know when to put them on. The King Kong 360 3D is one of the world's largest, most intense 3D experiences. It was designed by Peter Jackson and the special effects team of Weta Digital, a company in New Zealand. And they used some of the most advanced technology in filmmaking to create it for us. What I'm showing you on the monitors is a little behind the scenes footage of them creating this attraction.
The shot that we're working on. Here you have to take into account that people are looking in all directions. Also, one of the things about this ride, unlike the movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts because it's one giant shot. And this tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where the camera's from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away.
We're really creating about 50 minutes of a feature film. That amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience, it's a hell of a ride. Okay, good.
On the left side of the tram, we have a row of picture cars on display. A picture car, any vehicle that we use in a movie or a television show. Behind each one, there's a billboard that will let you know what we used it in. Picture cars don't need to work. They don't have to have engines, they just have to look real when they're filming them. Here's an example, the Flintstones cars. They don't have engines. Flintstones don't have engines. They have to use their feet in order to get them to work. Most of the cars that we have up here, however, are operational. We've got a car from Harry Potter. Up here we have some of the vehicles from the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World films, including a gyrosphere, and that was designed and built specifically for the 4th installment of the series, Jurassic World. Up on the monitors, you can see some other picture cars in action. In June, we had released the 6th installment of the Jurassic series, Jurassic World Dominion. Over the years, we've stored some of the sets and some of the picture cars from the Jurassic Park films. They're up ahead. As we drive through this area, John Hammond wants to say something.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
That was it. There's an RV on the left in the second Jurassic Park, The Lost World. That was a mobile laboratory that a T-Rex pushed off a cliff. The people were trapped inside. You guys want to see dinosaurs? We got dinosaurs up here. We put them on both sides of the tram. They're spitters. Why would I do that? Why wouldn't I tell you that first? Oh, they're going to hit the second car. Dinosaurs keep spitting. That's why my scene has a window. It's not fair, but if you see that as many times a day as Laura and I do in the window, that's a perk. I'm going to show you the scene from The Lost World with the RV that I just pointed out. Jeff Goldblum, Julianne Moore, and Vince Vaughn are trapped, and a T-Rex pushes it off a cliff. It's raining in the scene. Now what if we're making a movie or a television show and the script calls for rain and they're shooting the scene outside and it's not raining? We're going to show you. We're going to stop you in old Mexico and we're going to create a storm. We're not going to use any computer effects. We're not going to use CGI. We're going to use sprinklers. They're hidden in the trees and we're going to make it rain around the tram. We're also flashing strobe lights occasionally on film that will look like lightning. This is how easy it is to do the rain. But the problem with this special effect, we do it all day. Every time a tram stops in Old Mexico, it rains. The water is recycled, but the set is built on a hill. And over the course of the weekend, a lot of water is been building at the top of the hill. At one point, it's all gonna rush down and create a flood. This morning, that time is now. So be careful if you're sitting on the left side. There's a flood coming. up at one of the monitors, and here's that flash flood effect in the movie Big Fat Liar.
You can't outrun a wolf, kid!
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Hang on, honey folks!
Our old Mexico sets can also be seen in Three Amigos, Nacho Libre, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. We had recently used it for one of our TV shows on the Peacock Network, Angeline. That's with Emmy Rossum. And next to the old Mexico sets, we've got a very historic part of our backlot, our old Western town. And these are some of the first sets that were built on the lot. And we had just used this area last week for some of the scenes in Quantum Leap. And they're striking the set right now, meaning they're taking away all the equipment that they had been using for the shoot. Quentin Tarantino had used that part of our backlot for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. In the movie, Leonardo DiCaprio's character is an actor working on a Western TV series called Lancer, and that's where they shot those scenes. John Wayne, Jimmy Stewart, Kirk Douglas, Clint Eastwood had all made movies out in that part of the backlot as well. Now at this point, we are a little bit past the halfway mark. And again, I do want to remind everybody to please remain seated on the tram, and keep in mind, if at any time during the trip you drop something important off the tram, or if you can't wait to the end of the tour to use the restroom, just pull that red cord above you and remain seated. I'll come back, I'll see what you need assistance with. Little Europe has a sign on the wall, "Welcome to the Good Place." For 4 seasons, this was the Good Place in our comedy series with Kristen Bell and Ted Danson.
You, Eleanor Shellstrom, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, come on. I've never ever seen this.
You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
Maybe it's not all that bad.
How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
That scene filmed in front of the set on the corner on the left side of the tram, the one with the blue and red trim, that was yogurt on the show. And the sets that we had used for that comedy series are the same sets from our classic black and white horror movies made in the 1930s and 40s. This is the village of Frankenstein and Dracula, the Wolfman, the Invisible Man, this courtyard. Over here on the right, this is where they would shoot the scenes in all those movies, where the big mob of angry villagers would gather with the torches and the bloodhounds, and then they march through the village as they set out to hunt down the monsters. That was all Little Europe. There's a house on the left side of the tram. Nobody lives in it. This is a set that was originally built for a talk show, Home and Family, for the Hallmark Channel. Now we use it for Bel Air. And it's not the house where Will and Uncle Phil live on the show. Their house is a lot nicer than that one. But our trams have been driving by as they've been shooting some scenes out front. All of the sets that we've been passing so far have been the exterior sets. Now we're going to drive through a soundstage, and we're going to show you an interior set of a subway station. Even though we're going into a building, there's nothing in this building in 3D. So don't put on the 3D glasses for this. We are going to make this a quick picture stop. We are going to stop in here for a moment if you want to take photos of the set. But even when we come to a complete stop, please remember to remain seated. This was a few years ago. That's an earthquake. what happened in the episode. There was an earthquake. They put stunt performers in our attraction. This is how they used it in the scene. What's going on? I just yelled that. There's a billboard over on the left. Amity Island welcomes you. But the Amity Police Department needed us to close the beach area because we had shark attacks. And we caught a shark. It's hanging in front of the hotel. And even though we caught the shark, they still want us to reopen the beach. There's another shark out there. That's a bigger shark, and that one's coming towards us. Hey! This beach is closed. There's a shark out there. Get out of the water. Are you all right? Oh, the shark ate him. Yay! This is a really old dock that we're driving across, so everybody remains seated while we stop behind the barrels filled with gasoline. The shark just took the dock. It went back underwater. I don't see it. Oh, I see it. We got attacked by Bruce. That's the name the production gave the shark when they were filming Jaws. That's not the mechanical shark that Steven Spielberg used when he was making the movie. Our shark works better than his. When they were filming Jaws, they had built several mechanical sharks. None of them worked very well. All of them, oh hi Larry. None of them worked very well. All of them kept breaking. The shark that they used most of the time was just the shark's back with a fin on it. And they would use that for the scenes where you would just see the fin come out of the water. The full-size sharks never worked
for a while there, and the biggest of all time. So I really owe the shark a lot.
Look how brave Steven Spielberg was. Going out in public in those shorts. And those socks. Don't tell him I said that. He is a powerful man. There's a house over here on the right side of the tram. This was built for the musical The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas with Burt Reynolds and Dolly Parton. That was the chicken ranch in the film. Rob Zombie had used this house for House of a Thousand Corpses. They're preparing this part of the backlot for Quantum Leap, which is going to be filming out here a little later on during the week. They're also preparing the street on the left side of the tram for both Quantum Leap and Bel Air. So they're going to be using that street for 2 different productions. When they're using sections of our backlot for filming, obviously there are trams driving by all day. How do they get along with filming if trams are driving past? Very simple system. When they're using a section of the backlot, they put a security guard on each corner of that set, and the security guards have red flags. And when the director calls action, all the security guards around the set hold up the flags. If a flag is up, we have to stop the tram. So when the cameras are rolling, you're not going to see one of our trams driving by in the background of the shot. And then when the director calls cut, they lower the flags. We continue on with the tour right past where they're filming. So we do see production on the tours quite a bit. We have about 15 minutes left on this tour. We're almost back in the theme park. One last reminder, if you have any type of emergency before the tour is over, please remember to pull that red cord above you and remain seated. There are more picture cars behind the fence on the right. We have Dominic Toretto's Charger from Fast and Furious. The Mystery Machine, everyone knows the Mystery Machine. It's from Scooby-Doo. There's a yellow Camaro with black stripes. That's a Bumblebee from Transformers. All of the picture cars behind the fence have been abandoned by the original owners. Nobody knows what happened to the first owners of those cars. All of them disappeared, and it happened right after they checked into this hotel. It's the Bates Motel from Psycho. Right now, we use it for Halloween Horror Nights, which runs every Thursday through Sunday night up until Halloween.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
The Bates Motel is run by Norman Bates, and he lives in the creepy house at the top of the hill. We're going to be driving right by his home so you can get some pictures. Norman lives with his mother, and Mrs. Bates is sitting in a chair looking out of her bedroom window from the second floor. You'll be able to see her. Oh, Norman's home too! Norman's on the front porch! Norman, how are you feeling this morning? You okay? Norman, put that knife away. Do not stab people. Norman, I will tell your mother. Don't stab people. Look what he did to the airplane. That's a sharp knife. Behind the Psycho house, an airplane crashed and it destroyed the whole neighborhood. This is the set that Steven Spielberg had built when he was filming War of the Worlds.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision that Steven had.
When we first began to sit down to talk about War of the Worlds, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Got them closed? Robbie, get in. Get in.
In War of the Worlds, the reason the airplane crashed, there was an alien invasion. So aliens shot the plane down. We have a movie out in theaters right now that has a UFO and a possible alien in it. It's Jordan Peele's Nope. And the next set we're going to be driving through is the set of Jupiter's Claim that was built for the movie. And just like we stopped in the War of the Worlds set to get some pictures, we're going to stop up here as well. And to tell you about Jupiter's Claim, this is the film's writer-director, Jordan Peele.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Juke Park. Over there, look into the winking room and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Show. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Why? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. Well, it's not looking so live anymore. Anyway. Behind this Hollywood fantasy of a gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of a UFO hotspot. Welcome to the world of No.
Of Jupiter's Claim, but you can still see these sets in Jordan Peele's film. Hey, security, we are leaving the final set of the backlot. Are we clear to come in?
Look, this might be more serious than I thought. What just happened?
You just cut out on the monitor.
Who are you?
Oh.
I'll tell you who